Hey everyone, how you doing today? Mary Ellen Benakin in Atlanta, Georgia, and we have a treat today. We have Denise Sartor here. Sartor, and she's from Minneapolis, and we're going to learn all about her business, and what fun things to do in Minneapolis. So thank you for coming onto our podcast, and fire away. Let's hear a little bit about you, Denise.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Yes, I actually live in a suburb of Minneapolis. So we call Minneapolis St. Paul the Twin Cities. And,
Okay.
it's interesting that they call them twins because they're really quite different. But we're separated by the Mississippi River, and we're known as the 10,000 Lakes state. So we have water pretty much everywhere, and every type of water you can imagine. Big lakes, small lakes, rivers, and all those kind of fun things. So there's a lot of activities surrounding water itself, whether it be in all seasons, actually.
Yeah, but you do have like a really kind of winter season there that we don't have here.
We definitely have 4 seasons. There's probably 3 months out of the year that get kind of tough. If we could just slide the holidays into January, it'd be a better distraction for our winter. Because January and February probably get the toughest. Now we're starting to see signs of spring here and there, and so we know we're over the worst of it, and so that's not as bad. But January and February are probably the tough ones to get through.
There you go. All right, so tell me a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so I grew up in northern Minnesota, so I'm very hardy to the Minnesota weather. So grew up about 2 hours north of Minneapolis, and it's quite a bit colder up there. You'd be surprised, and close to Lake Superior, so we get the lake effects from Lake Superior. And grew up there, moved down to the Twin Cities in 1989, I think it was. So I've been here longer than I was up there.
Right.
And just love what the Twin Cities has to offer. And previous to real estate, I was in the beauty industry. So I was a licensed hairdresser for over 30 years, and did all things just about everything you could do in the beauty industry, including owning a salon the last 12 years before I got into real estate, and closed the salon right before COVID hit. So
very interesting. Yeah. Okay. So you're a hairdresser. So you're a very good listener, I have to say. I'm sure you are, right? And you ran a business, and then you got into real estate. Oh my goodness. So you owned a salon for about 12 years. Was it in where you live now, or was it up north?
It's actually right down the street from my office.
That's great.
Yeah. So when I did both the first couple of years in real estate, and kind of was just playing it out, figuring out what I wanted to do, what was my lane in real estate.
Yes.
And was I going to be an investor? Was I going to work with buyers? There's so many avenues, and people don't realize how many avenues there are in real estate. I certainly didn't before I was in it, and I'm still exploring new avenues. So it's, so I kind of did both and then just was able to walk back and forth between the salon and the office, and then decided, you know what, I'm going full speed
ahead. Force. Yeah, there you go.
In real estate. Right. Yeah. And haven't looked back. So it's been about 7 years now.
7 years. Okay. So what really made you decide to get into real estate?
Well, I would say 2 factors. I love learning. And, when I was in the beauty industry, I was an educator for many years, like 10 plus years. So just the thirst to learn is a big one. And so putting myself out there and learning, and there is a limit, I think, in some industries of what you can learn. This industry, there is no limit. So the learning, and then being a people person, I thrive on being around other people, the energy. I feel there's energy in homes too. So that feeds me, and it just seems like such a great fit. And it's funny, so many people are like, oh, we knew you'd be good at it. You should have done that a long time ago. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Like, I would have done it a long time ago.
Well, it's really funny. Like, I talk to a lot of agents around the country and around the world, and it's interesting. I connect with a lot of people that are teachers, and that hair salon. So I'm like, that is so interesting. But you know what? You're used to dealing with people, being calm, dealing, problem shooting situations, right?
Yep.
So just going into real estate is just like a really good avenue from that. Oh, that's fantastic. All right. So tell us about the areas that we know St. Paul, Minnesota, Minneapolis, that whole area is kind of a big area, kind of like Atlanta. So can you give us kind of some guidance on like what part of it around, or, just kind of go from there? What
Yeah,
areas you
I
cover?
focus on Minneapolis and its suburbs. I've done work in St. Paul, but I really try to focus on the Minneapolis area and suburbs. And I'm office out of the northwest suburb of Maple Grove and live in Plymouth, and they're kind of like right next to each other. And so that's kind of my wheelhouse, is to do there, especially when I do listings, because I'm really a
Mhm.
hands-on listing agent.
Right.
Have my own staging. So I do the staging with my stagers and
Mhm.
marketing. I like to be at showings. So I really like to be close to my listings. Buyers, I spread myself out a little bit more for, because obviously it's a little easier to travel for a buyer than it is for a listing. So
Sure. Absolutely. That's good.
yeah, so there's a lot of suburbs to offer. The traffic isn't too bad here, so you can really make a lot of grounds. Oh, my light just went off.
Oh, that's okay. This is why we have fun. We just go with the flow. We go like this, go like that. It's all about learning about you, how you do business, and how we can refer you business. So that's great. So what kind of like properties do you like to sell? Like, what are your favorites?
You know, I I've been dealing a lot with luxury in the last
Yeah.
couple of years, and that's been awesome, and it's fun because it's another challenge and it's another learning. So there goes down my lane again of that, and
Yes.
um, I love a good challenge. Like, tell me I can't do something, and here we go. So, and I love doing all price points. The mid price point is probably the sweet spot. The five to
Yes,
eight
of course.
hundred thousand is a lovely one to work with, where you can turn a property pretty quickly and still drive up some good money for the seller. So but I do everything. I mean, I went to a listing appointment yesterday for a little townhouse. I've done little
There you go.
condos. I've done co-ops, so, but I've luckily been fortunate to be at a higher price point and feel very comfortable
Right.
with that.
Yeah, so that's nice, and I think it's important to like different price points, and deal with different kinds of clients and stuff. And so, what does like $1 million get you in your area?
What is $1 million? It really depends on where it is.
Right,
you
location,
know,
like a lake, or is it in
yeah.
town, or is it out of town? Yeah. So you really have a
Yes,
large range there.
exactly, exactly. I mean, if it's in the suburbs, it can get you a very nice property with some nice acreage. A larger home, probably 4 to 6,000 square feet. So
Okay.
you can get a lot for your money. If you're on a lake, or a really prime area, that's going to get you a little house.
Yes, a little
And
itty bitty house like
and a little
California,
fixer
right?
upper, maybe. Yeah, fixer upper. So it just really varies. But I think I was working with some buyers that came from Washington yesterday, and they're amazed at what they can get here. And the commute is nice. I would say you could average 20 to 30 minutes to just about anywhere you want to go in the Twin Cities if it's not prime rush hour. So people that come from larger cities that deal with a lot of traffic, or very little yard space or privacy, you can get a lot for your money here.
Yes. No, that's good. That's good. And you have such like we do in Atlanta, there's some like neighborhoods that are, more luxurious than others. And so it's really hard to say for this price point, you get this. And especially I'm assuming with all the beautiful lakes and everything else you're paying for location. So of course, property is going to be higher
Correct.
in that area. So,
Right. And that,
so
if you've got Minneapolis, and then you've got the first ring suburbs and then the second ring suburbs. So the first rings tend to get more money because they are a
of
closer
course.
commute. They're closer to everything, all the different things. We offer a lot of cultural things, sporty. I mean, we've got all the sports, all of those things. So people that really want to be engaged with everything that's downtown and available, but want that first, want the first ring suburbs, they're gonna
Yeah,
they're gonna
they're gonna pay
pay.
for it, right? Just like in any
Mhm.
other city.
But the
And so
values just keep going up and up, so it's a great investment
right.
because you can't
And
really.
it's affordable too. There's some properties, like you said, you can buy some properties in the $300,000 range. That's pretty affordable. A lot of places you can't
Right.
nowadays. So that's nice that it's affordable. And then where's your airport? Is that in the city or is out in the outskirts?
It's in the southeast suburb of St. Paul. So that again, from my house in Maple Grove in the northwest, that's probably a 25-minute commute to the airport. So
Which is great. And
yeah,
uh, that airport is beautiful. They've just redone it. I love it. And I'm sure you get a lot of international travelers coming through. It's just a nice hub there that you're getting people from all over the world coming through your city too, to enjoy, not so much when it's 20 below zero, but but when it's summertime, I heard is absolutely gorgeous there.
oh, it's just
I
beautiful.
have
Yeah,
not been there in the summertime, so
yeah,
that's a definite place that I want to go to.
yeah.
So we kind of talked about desirable neighborhoods and kind of where you sell in that area. What is kind of the biggest challenge that people are facing when they're coming to your area at this moment?
We're definitely in a seller's market, so there are still, if the property is priced right and move-in ready, I'm finding people really are attracted to move-in ready right now with the rates being a little higher than we saw in years past. So they want move-in ready. They want to make the most out of their money. So there's not always that available, but if it is move-in ready and priced right, it's going in, a couple of days on the market. So battling multiple offers.
Yes, I mean I think we're having that around the country in certain areas and certain places. In Atlanta, it's very hit and miss. Some subdivisions are flying off the market, some are not. It's so interesting. I can't even explain. It's just so interesting. So let's get into the economy, the companies that are in Minneapolis, and kind of how does your economy thrive in Minneapolis?
Yeah, we have a lot of great headquarters here, so
Okay.
that it brings a lot of people to town. And then when COVID happened and a lot of people can work remotely, a lot of people came here because they could get more for their money too. So if they were working
Sure.
even with another company, because our education systems are really strong here too, and so people, with families come for that. So, but we have Best Buy, we have General Mills. What else we have? We have the University of Minnesota is a large university, and it's a university for like healthcare. So it's got a working
Mhm.
hospital as well. And then we're so close to Mayo too, down in Rochester, which is world renowned for its healthcare. So just kind of a taste. Target Corporation is here. So a
Nice.
lot of different industries, and we have a lot of medical device companies and Cargill. Lots of options.
So that really just, what's the vibe of Minneapolis?
I was thinking that it's funny because what most people say is it's such a clean city, and as
Okay.
pardon.
I said, okay, that's so interesting because you don't think of that, but when you wrote that, and like you gave I gave you a little interview before, and I was reading that, I was like, that is so cool. That is really
Yeah.
cool.
So it's one thing that I always just at a meeting in Charleston a couple of weeks ago, and people were like, "Oh,
I was there.
Minneapolis."
I
Yep.
was there
Yep.
too.
Oh, Minneapolis, it's so clean, and it's just so funny. But I can't put a pinpoint on a specific vibe because it offers so much with the lakes. It's beautiful with the trees. Everything very green and lush in the summertime. And we've got all of the cultural things, the theaters and um, uh, museums, lots of museums. We have a great big outdoor museum that you can go walk around, the Walker Art Museum, and it's an indoor and outdoor
Wow,
museum.
that's
It's
cool.
like a sculpture garden, and yeah, we have a big spoon with the cherry in it, a huge
Nice.
rooster, and you could just walk around. There's a lot of distilleries and breweries are really popular here. So it's a great way to engage in it. Even in the wintertime, they'll have outdoor seating with fire pits and stuff to, milder days that people are just want to be outside and get in some good fresh air. Our pollution's really low, so that's nice. The water issues are there with some of the pollution from runoff from fertilizer and that kind of thing. So we have to
Sure.
keep on top of that, but we're a very environmentally conscientious city as well.
Yeah, and I love that. I think with all the trees, and I guess when you first think of Minnesota, everyone always thinks it's like snow all the time, right? And then you see like all you see is like now you see these lakes. So for me, the vibe is probably laid back, really cool. As when you get into the city, it's more artsy, probably, right?
Correct.
And so you got all the different vibes of the city within the different areas of Minneapolis. So that's so cool. So
Yeah.
tell us about like activities. Like what are big outdoor activities, indoor activities that people are doing in your area?
There is pickleball has really gotten big. So I'm a pickleball player as well,
I
and
had a match last night, so there you go.
I love it. I love it. I get withdrawals if I haven't played for so long. It's crazy.
Yes.
So that's really big. I mean, we've got, and there was one main, now there's like five just in like a 5 mile radius from my house. So they've just indoor courts, and then of course all the parks have added outdoor courts. So that's a big one, which is great because it's for all ages and really brings in a lot of different communities and
Fun.
stuff.
It's
And
so fun. I mean,
I
it really is. It's
yeah.
fun.
And let's see what else. Anything outdoorsy because you can swim,
Hiking.
fish, hiking. There's a lot of great hiking. Our terrain there's different parts of the state that are more what do you call it? More hilly and more flat. Some evolved around water. Like I said, the Mississippi River. You can go down the river, and there's different activities on that. There's people that enjoy rivers more than lakes. um, the wineries, distilleries, breweries. We have a oh gosh, what's it called? A big I'm gonna forget the name of it. Like places they plants lots of plants, and it's arboretum. Thank you. There it
Oh,
is.
okay.
They have an
Yes.
arboretum, and that's really popular, and people go there all year round and drive around and see the different types of what they do out there. They light it up for Halloween, they light it up for the holidays, and then of course all the different seasons of planting and the things blooming there. And that's really close to where Prince's home is, which is also open for touring. And I've been there. I've taken the VIP tour, and it's really interesting. If you're a Prince fan, it's a must do
That's
while you're.
actually was my first concert when I was a kid.
That's awesome.
Or first or second. I think Chicago was first and Prince was second, and Sheila E was opening up for Prince.
Yeah,
It was in New York. It was in New York where I'm born and raised. So that's really cool. So there's always that little bit in my heart of Prince, and I
yeah,
know how you guys are such, and then you've got all your sports teams that you guys are just crazy over,
yep,
right?
yep. We got the Twins, the Wilds, the Timberwolves, the Lady Lynx. Just it goes on and on. The soccer, they built a soccer stadium here a couple years ago for the soccer community. So there's just everything.
And what about wintertime, winter sports? What kind of winter sports do you
Winter
do?
sports, there's downhill skiing, there's cross country skiing. A lot of people do ice fishing. You'll drive around a lake here in the wintertime, and you'll see all these little houses out on the lake and cars driving on the lake, and people just like, what is going on? And yeah, they literally have these augers where they cut a big hole in the water and put their lines in
Ice fishing in
and
Alaska.
ice fish.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did ice
So
fishing in Alaska. Same thing. You're on like a little lake, and you're like, oh my God, like I'm afraid I'm gonna fall through it. But when it's like 30 below zero, right? It doesn't
yeah.
matter, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. So it's not my thing, but people go nuts over it. So fishing is really popular, pretty much year round. There's just so many opportunities to fish. We have a lot of cabins or lake homes, so seasonal homes that people take advantage of, campgrounds, um, a lot of hiking, a lot of biking trails too. That's a really
Nice.
great area for bikers if they have mountain bikes or they want to do the trail riding. There's so many opportunities to do biking.
So let me ask you, like, what people that are moving to your area, are they being relocated there? Are they choosing to be there? Are you also selling second homes as you know, permanent homes?
Yeah.
What are you selling there? So it'd be
Yeah, good
interesting to
question.
hear more.
I do have some out of town buyers, a couple of them out of state buyers this year. One was moving from the political environment, and the other
Yes.
one is a relocation, working with a company that is relocating. And I'm learning a lot from them because, how they see their market versus what it's
Oh
interesting.
yeah.
They're like, oh my gosh, you can get all this for this. And, we don't have any yard. Like our backyard is, our kids can't play in a backyard. I'm like, that's so crazy. Like,
Yeah.
anything in the suburb is going to give you pretty much, it might not be a huge yard, but you're going to have a yard um,
Right.
to be in. So I think that's something that we can offer. So I would say it's a mix. And then we do a lot of second homes.
Yeah.
There's there's a chain of lakes that I pretty much grew up on just north of the Twin Cities, a couple hours, and is really popular for people that have live out of state. They come here in the summer because our summers are so beautiful, and if they're in an area where it's super hot and super humid and they can't enjoy their outdoors in the summer, then yeah, they come here for a second home,
Yeah,
for sure.
that's great. That's great. I mean, so you can sell, primary homes and secondary homes in your area depending on where you're at, which
Yeah.
is good. So a lot of people do have that cabin up in the north part of the state, right?
Yep. Yep. And I do some work up there because,
You're
I
from there. Yeah.
grew up with it. So I don't go a lot out of the area unless it's, like property because, yeah, I have a pretty good background in that. So it's pretty exciting.
Now I know you have the four seasons. Can you just explain like how long is winter? Because I think that's most people that think of Minnesota, they think of snow. That's
Yeah.
the first thing that
Right.
probably comes to mind. So how many really months of that winter do you have? Like from what months?
I would say 4 months, three to
Okay.
4 months. It depends. The winters have been mild. We definitely have seen some global warming effects. We don't
Yes.
have nearly the snow. I mean, a lot of people have snowmobiles, and they didn't get to take them out this year. So
Oh, interesting. Okay.
yeah, because there just wasn't enough snow to do it. So I feel bad for them because you look forward to it all year
Yes.
round, and then you don't get enough to even to go out.
Yeah. And summers are just really like what's the warmest temperature it gets in the summertime?
I would say we average maybe 75 in the
Perfect.
summertime, 70 to 75. But we do get some hot days, and it always seems to land on our state fair, which our state fair is a big deal. And it's Labor Day weekend, and no matter what, it always seems to be just like blazing hot and humid,
Blazing
and
hot.
right before. Usually, people, most of our schools don't start until after Labor Day.
Yes.
Partially because I think state fair, because all the public schools, so people really, I mean, it takes in thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and so it's
Yes.
a big
That's
deal.
awesome. That's awesome. So we've talked about the climate, and what do you personally like to do outside of real estate
Um,
besides pickleball? We've already talked.
Pickleball is, yep, pickleball. Pilates, I like to do a lot. It's been a great thing for my body for strength, and as I get older, just really trying to keep on top of
No,
that.
you're young. You're young. Pilates is great. Pilates is great. It's great for yeah, everything like
Yeah.
strength, core strength training. So I
Core
really like.
strength, and yeah, and help balance out all the beating that my body takes at pickleball. Uh, but otherwise, a lot family time. Family time is very precious to me, and time with friends. Even though I'm in a people industry, I still thrive on getting together with close friends
Sure.
and hanging out and
Well,
girl
tell
time.
us about your family. Do they all live in Minnesota, or where are they around?
Yeah, I have two kids. They're both in the metro area. They live
Oh,
close
nice.
by. So I feel very fortunate to have them close by, and they like to come see mom and dad. So that's lovely. So we see them quite often and talk to them pretty much daily. And then most of my other family, my mom and my brothers and their kids live all still up in northern Minnesota by Duluth. So mainly everybody's up there.
That's nice. That's nice. Okay. So you have any like local favorite spots that you recommend to your clients when they come, like you have to go to this restaurant or you have to go here? Anything specific?
I would say more of an area than
Sure.
a
So
specific
tell us an
spot.
area.
Yeah, so we have a little town called Robbinsdale, which would be more of a first to second ring suburb. And it's just a cute little quaint downtown, and it's got some good eateries and breweries and little shops. So very walkable area. You can just kind of walk around and bounce around. The other one is a little bigger than that. It's called Hopkins, and that also has a great little downtown. Just gives you just a good variety of things that
Mhm.
Minneapolis can offer as
Yeah.
well. So those
Great.
those two are probably my favorite. I think a lot of people think of Mall of America, which I think is a good thing to see when
Yeah, I'm
here.
not a
And
shopper. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's
yeah,
great.
if you're a
That's
shopper,
wonderful.
you definitely got to experience Mall of America. But in my opinion, we have some better shopping areas than that.
Okay.
So most locals don't go there. That maybe people that live by there, but I
Right.
rare I rarely hear people that I talk to go there.
Yes.
But a
Yes.
lot of people, because it's really close to the airport. It's like really
Okay. That makes
close to the
sense.
airport. People come in and shop, and we don't have clothing tax here.
Oh, that's a big draw. Okay, especially like people from around the world, right? They come in and they're like, "Oh, yes. Okay. That makes
Yes.
sense. I didn't know
Yes.
that. That's something I learned today about Minnesota. There you go.
Yeah. So if you're buying a new wardrobe or you're buying coats or suits or whatnot, it could be a nice savings, and that and draw it all in. So
Perfect. So tell me about a story about one of your most rewarding real estate transactions and why, or multiple, or whatever you want to kind of share to us, a client or what you found rewarding.
there's so many.
I know, I know. Just
It,
pick one
it's just
so our
such a
viewers
great
can
thing.
understand the way you work. Because I'm gonna kind of say that because just knowing you and hearing you, I just think you're a great agent who is going to be very caring. You're going to listen really well, and you're going to give them the top level service that they deserve, surprise and delight. I mean, that's what I get from you. So if you're
Thank
looking for that great agent, that is you. So I want to hear about. Just tell me one rewarding, quick little story.
Yeah, and I first to start off, I always wanted to try to create a relationship, a lifetime relationship with my people.
Yes.
And most of the
Mhm.
time that works out. You're never
Yeah.
going to be friends with everybody, but
Right.
that's always a goal of mine. So probably one of the most rewarding was I called this gal, and it was just like all the stars aligned. I called her kind of a cold call and just said, "Hey, I heard you were needing to sell your property." And here to come find out, I sold her property. I helped her sell or helped her buy. I helped her brother-in-law sell, and then I sold another property for her. And over this time, getting to learn, she's had the most challenging life of anybody I've ever heard. Like,
Mhm.
and she could just write a book. It'd be like one of those books or movies that you go, could this be real? Like, how
Sure.
could anybody endure so much? But she has the best attitude, and she's got tons of health issues, mental health issues, just the list goes on. But just have enjoyed becoming a part of her life, and leaning on her, or having her lean on me for things has just been lovely. And then it was just a bonus just to be able to do business with her, because
Yes.
being able to help her through situations.
I love that. I love that pretty much your clients become your family if they want to become your family, and you're there for them, and you're the go-to person, and you're going to surprise and delight. You're going to listen to their concerns, and you're going to find them what they're looking for. I love that about you. All right.
Yeah, I think it's really
Maybe.
important.
Yes, it is. It's so important in this business. All right. So I have a good question. Like, if you could travel anywhere that you haven't been to, or a place you've been to that you love, I'd love to hear that.
Oh,
Anywhere in the world. Anyway,
Yeah. Well, my top places I have seen are Sonoma. I love the wine country.
okay.
And Charleston ranks up there. I thought that was just a fantastic area.
Yes.
Where I haven't been yet that I would like to get to, and I will get to, is Greece.
Yes.
Yeah, I just
Love
think
Grace.
that the beauty of it, the water, the architecture is so different, the food, the vibe is so different. So that is one place I'd really like to get to.
And Charleston is like a European city, okay?
Yeah,
Charleston and Savannah are like European cities. I'm married to a European and we spend a lot of time in Europe. So it's interesting that you say that Charleston's one of your favorite places, but yet you want to go to Greece. It's very similar. I mean, well, Greece is totally different than Charleston, but yet it's got a lot of the similarities of the culture, the laid backness, just the way people enjoy their lives and walk around and do their
right.
things. So
I tend to like places that offer a lot, but yet are fairly small, so you can feel like you can get to know it and walk around it
right.
and be
And there's so
comfortable
many
with
different
it.
little islands you can go off. I'm actually going in October. We're going back to Greece to go to a couple little islands and stuff. And that's one of my favorite trips that I've ever been on is we went on like a motorized sailboat with like 50 passengers and we went to all like 10 different islands. Every day we're at a different island. And
Wow.
it was just amazing. And so, a lot of islands that nobody really goes to, right?
Yeah.
Of course, everyone goes to Santorini and Mykonos and that stuff. But we went to small islands that there's hardly, and you just see the culture there, which is so incredible. So book that trip to Greece. We're going to talk about that. So,
Yeah.
so Denise, I want to know, is there anything else you want to add to talk to our viewers about you, about Minneapolis, or anything that you want to add to our conversation tonight?
Sure. I'd like to throw in too that I'm an investor. I'm a newer investor, but that is something again with learning. You're always learning. And I own two properties. I have a midterm rental, which most people
Nice.
don't understand what that is, but it's a minimum 30-day stay furnished. So it's like you get the long term, and then you got midterm, and then you get short term, which is of course your Airbnbs and VRBO, that kind of style.
Sure.
So I bought I went to a listing appointment last year and told me it was, oh, it's grandma's house, and they were just, this grandson was selling it for his grandma. And
Mhm.
he just was saying all these things about it. Like I was expecting this horrible house. I walked in and it was like a time capsule. It's a mid-century modern
Nice.
house. And if you come to the Twin Cities, you could stay in it. And it's like a time capsule. I kept it like a time capsule.
Oh, how cool is that? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And it came with the furniture too. So a couple had owned it, and it was just pristine, it's just amazing. So I cleaned it up and did it up, and it's just been so fun to do. And so I'm now an Airbnb owner, and this will be my first summer with it. So I'm really excited about
Oh,
that.
that is so exciting. Yeah, I'm an investor as well. And I think most of us that are in real estate end up getting into investing in real estate. But it's also important that if you are investing in real estate to work with an agent who has experience in the industry. And like you
Right.
said, whether it's short term, long term, or midterm. So, and also I know here they've tightened up their rules about Airbnbs and a lot of subdivisions in our
Right.
area. But I know that areas like yourself, that's just a big business too, because you have a lake. I mean, you have a lake and you have, people come in and out. So that's great. That's fantastic. So if you're investing or you want to invest in Minnesota, you need to contact Denise. She can help you find what you're looking for. So
Yeah. Love
first
that.
of all, I just wanted to thank you so much for spending your time with me today and just getting to know you and our viewers getting to know you. So if we ever have anyone in Minnesota, someone says, I need somebody in Minnesota, I'm going to send her this little video and said, this is a great agent. You need to see if you guys connect. And it was a pleasure seeing you in Charleston. We're both part of the Luxury Pro group. And it's been such a really great time. We get to go to different places every month and connect and network with each other. So that's another great benefit, that we all get to know each other as well. And that's why we feel so comfortable referring each other. So I really just wanted to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day, because we're all really busy. But now we have this video for a lifetime.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you so much. And
Thank you. I
we'll
appreciate
talk to
you.
you soon. Okay.
Okay.